My name is Hiroshi Takeda. I belong to Pharmaceutical and Medical Devices Agency, PMDA. PMDA provides the scientific consultation and review of new drug and medical device administration. I'm going to talk about the situation in Japan regarding incentives and regulatory considerations in orphan product development. And I want to apologize you to change my today's slides for your Bosch. This is my disclaimer. And please notice that user fee in the following presentation is the fee as of March 2014. In Japan, consumption tax will be increased in this April, so user fee will be up in a few percent. At first, I'm going to talk about Japanese case of incentives for orphan product development. There are 5 major incentives for development of orphan drugs and medical devices in Japan. That is subsidy payment, consultation, preferential tax treatment, priority review, and extension of re-examination period. First incentive is subsidy payment. While the details of Japanese grant system have already explained by Mr. Kusunoki Nibio, sponsors whose product is designated as orphan drug or orphan medical device can receive subsidies through Nibio to reduce the financial burden of product development. The Japanese government secured the total budget of 6.3 million euro for financial year 2012. Second incentive is priority consultation. In Japan, PMDA provides scientific consultation. In this consultation, sponsor can discuss with review team about CMC, preclinical, and clinical issue in developing products. This figure shows the timeline of PMDA's scientific consultation. In general, sponsors should submit application for consultation to PMDA on the first working day before 2 months from consultation. That is, if you want to use PMDA's consultation in June, you should submit the application on April 1st. But in case of designated orphan drugs, PMDA always accepts application for consultation from sponsor every working day. PMDA arranges the schedule between all applying sponsors and the agency's review teams. Then the date of the consultation is determined. And 5 weeks before the meeting, sponsors should submit relevant documents for the consultation. After the meeting, final minutes are fixed within 1 month. This is a common procedure in designated orphan drugs and non-orphan drugs. And lower user fee categories for PMDA's consultation are applicable to designated orphan drugs. This table shows the user fee of major consultation category about clinical topic. Designated orphan drugs can enjoy reduced user fee by 25%. For the small company and academic researchers, PMDA started pharmaceutical affairs consultation on research and development R&D strategy in 2011. This is what Ms. Inokuma mentioned in the last session. At present, the target of this new consultation category is limited. However, product for orphan disease and rare disease is in this scope, as well as regenerative medicine, cellular and tissue-based product for cancer, product for children, and other innovative products. In the pharmaceutical affairs consultation on R&D strategy, sponsor can ask questions and discuss with technical experts and review team in the Office of New Drug, Cellular and Tissue-Based Product, and Medical Devices. Technical experts and review team answer the sponsor's questions and suggest more effective development plan. Now, PMDA has technical experts in non-clinical trial, intellectual property, and so on. The objective of pharmaceutical affairs consultation on R&D strategy is to support the beginner of R&D. So, technical experts support to extract the problem of products and development plan. In pre-consultation meeting, and sponsor can contact technical experts after the consultation to clarify unclear points. The example of question and discussion point is noted below. Tentative spec of active pharmaceuticals ingredient, API, and dosage. Preclinical dataset to initiate first-in-human trial. Protocol assistance in preclinical study. Protocol assistance in clinical trial. Clinical trial is limited from first-in-human trial to proof of concept trial and development strategy. In the pharmaceutical affairs consultation on R&D strategy, lower user fee category is applicable to small company and researchers at colleges and institutes. The definition of small company and researcher is noted below. If small companies and researchers meet all these criteria, user fee is reduced by 90%. These criteria are only for fee reduction, and companies and researchers who do not meet these criteria can also use this consultation in normal user fee. Third incentive is preferential tax treatment. 12% of study expenses for orphan drug and medical devices incurred, not including subsidies granted by NIBIO, during the NIBIO subsidy payment period can be reported as a tax credit. Fourth incentive is priority review. For designated orphan drugs, PMDA provides a priority review. In the priority review, standard review time is 9 months, while review of non-orphan drug takes 12 months. And lower user fee is applicable in NDA of designated orphan drug. For example, this is the user fee of new molecular entity. This user fee is reduced by 25%. The fifth incentive is extension of re-examination period. For designated orphan drugs, exclusive period, which we call re-examination period in Japan, is extended for 2 years. This is a wrap-up slide. We have these 5 points of incentives for orphan drugs and medical devices. This slide shows a comparison of incentives in Japan, EU, and the US. In Japan, we provide grants, consultations, financial incentives, priority review, and extension of market exclusivity, the similar manner as EU and the US. In the next few slides, I'm going to talk about the situation of orphan drug development in Japan. This figure shows the annual number of designation of orphan drugs in Japan and development stage of each product. In this decade, the number of orphan drug designation is increasing year by year. In fiscal year of 2012, MHLW designated 31 orphan drugs and 3 products has already been approved. We want to support and encourage the development of orphan drugs. But in Japan, there is no documented guidance or guidelines for developing orphan drugs because of the difficulty of generalization. So clinical data package is discussed in each product, considering number of patients, severity of disease, existing treatment, feasibility, extent of establishing efficacy and safety data, and so on. As another characteristic in Japanese situation, to the present, time to start development lag behind EU and the US in almost all products. So, in many cases of designated orphan products, sponsor must conduct local clinical trials in Japan separately from global clinical trial to be approved in Japan. This slide shows a typical example of orphan drug development in Japan. In this example, the indication is for severe progressive inherited disease, and patient number in Japan is very small. In this product, the development is started from 2003 in EU and the US, and phase 2-3 pivotal trial is conducted from 2006 to 2008 in EU and the US. The sponsor brought up clinical trial consultation in Japan in 2010. In this product, phase 3 clinical trial in Japan was conducted to confirm the safety of Japanese patients and similarity of efficacy between Japanese and EU and US patients. In other products, we also require Japanese efficacy and safety data in principle. But we think we would like to contribute to the establishment of efficacy and safety of new drugs in the world. So please remember and consider to recruit Japanese patients for global trial. And please consider to make your consultation in Japan earlier. To support the global clinical trial, we make Japanese guidance document Basic Principles on Global Clinical Trials in 2007. And you can get English version from this link. This figure shows the number of clinical trial notification and percentage of global clinical trials in Japan. After the publication of this guidance, you can see the increasing number of and ratio of global clinical trials in Japan. There may be some language barrier and problem on scale of trial sites, but Japanese trial sites have settled into global clinical trials step by step. So please consider to associate Japanese patients to global clinical trial. That's all. Oh, sorry. Thank you for attention.